What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. BDJGaming here. Going to be doing the Kansas City Royals today in MLB The Show Franchise mode. A team that was in a rebuild for a few years. They're finally getting out of it. They've added some veterans to this team. They got their star in Bobby Witt Jr. They got Salvador Perez, who spent his entire career there. They really got some pieces to work with. And, this is going to be a fun team to try to get to the playoffs and hopefully a World Series again. So we take a look at the starting rotation. Cole Reagans had a solid year last year, 3.47 ERA. Only see potential, which is weird. But hopefully he gives us good innings for our ace right now and carry us to a postseason berth this year. And then Seth Lugo, who they paid for 3 years, $15 million per year, really wanted to be a starter. And the Padres gave him the money. And hopefully he gives us another solid year as well. Might have to trade him when he starts hitting 36. Just because we all know how MLB The Show is with drop-offs and overalls. Brady Singer had a down year last year, but was really good in 2022. So hopefully get the 2022 version of Brady Singer. And then you got Alec Marsh, only 25. 5.69 ERA last year, not great, but hopefully he could give us a better year in his second overall season as a fourth starter. And then Michael Wacha, the veteran, gave him a 2 year, $16 million per year. Really was good in the Padres and Red Sox uniforms. Struggled between 2019 and 2021. Think it was injuries and pitching mechanics. Looks like he's cleaned those up and has gave them really good performances. So hopefully he keeps that up. So 1 through 5 in this rotation, very good. I mean, I'm satisfied 1 through 5 with the starting rotation. I mean, obviously we can make some moves later on maybe, or trade Lugo or Walker's contracts and maybe add another pitcher. But right now for the first season, I'm cool with this. Then you got some young pitching prospects we could use in deals as well. So the starting pitching route looks great for this team. Bullpen-wise, John Schreiber is our best relief pitcher, which isn't a bad thing, but definitely could add some more pieces around him because everybody else is under 70 overall. You got some veterans like Chris Stratton, Tyler Duffy, John Taylor, Will Smith, but they're just so low overalls in this game, they ain't really going to be that great. We also need a closer. Jake Brentz is currently the closer, only a 67 overall. Had a really bad year last year. Only pitched 5.1 innings, but was not great. Catcher, we're good. We got Salvador Perez. We all know how good he's been throughout his career, World Series champion. And then Freddie Fermin, who's one of the best backup catchers in the league, really good defensively, has hit good for contact. Not much power, but, I mean, if Salvador Perez gets hurt or something, we definitely don't have to worry about the backup catcher spot. Vinny Pasquantino, pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. My bad, KC fans, if I ain't. 9 home runs last year. I think they were expecting a little bit more power from him, but really, a guy who makes contact, not a great defender. Hopefully he gives us some solid production at first base. If not, that might need to be something we need to look to. Maybe we look to look to platoon Vinny and bring in a right-handed first base to platoon him. Second base, Michael Massey, coming off a 15 home run campaign. Hopefully he gives us some better production. We'll give him to the trade deadline. If he's really struggling, maybe we look to upgrade second base. Third base, we got Michael Garcia, who had a solid year last year. Not much power, but really good contact skills. You see his contact against lefties, 85. He's a really good defender as well, so he's definitely somebody we can look to build around as well. Bobby Witt Jr., we all know how good he is. We got Garrett Hampson as a backup who can play all over the diamond. Really good guy to have off the bench, or we could even put him in the outfield because our outfield left is not very good. We got Tyler Gentry, who's only a 63 overall. Then we got MJ Melendez, both only 25. But right now, when we're trying to win, I don't know if they're really going to make much of an impact. And then we got Drew Waiters in center field, very good defender, but not much of a hitter. And in right field, we got Dairon Blanco and Nelson Velasquez. And also Hunter Renfroe, the veteran. He's coming off a 20 home run campaign. So outfield definitely needs some work. It's definitely going to be that, the bullpen, maybe second, maybe first. So this team has a lot of holes to fill, but I think we can get it going here. First season, we'll see how it goes leading up to the trade deadline. Maybe we trade off some vets, get some position players back to help our offense, and go from there. We'll have to see. So I'll look through free agency. I'll let you guys know, if we end up making any moves or anything, and we'll see if we can get this Kansas City Royals team to a playoff berth. Let's do it. So we signed a few relief pitchers. Ended up signing the veteran Matt Barnes to a 2-year, $2 million per year deal. Didn't really think it was that bad. He definitely upgrades our bullpen. And we also signed Domingo da Silva, Only 23 years old. Yeah, he's deep potential, but maybe he gives us a little bit more upside than some of the veterans we already have. And then we ended up signing George Bassett as our closer. He's a 26-year-old rookie. Definitely has good K per nine and hits per nine, so maybe he gives us some good innings in the closer spot to the trade deadline. So we'll have to see how those signings go. And one last move in free agency, we ended up signing C.J. Cron, who had 12 home runs last year, had 28 and 29 the 2 years before. So maybe he gives us a little bit of pop, can maybe play the outfield, and then him and Vinny could platoon at first base. So I think this is a great move for us as well. So first trade offer we got is a very intriguing trade offer. The Cubs are offering us Pete Crow Armstrong, only 22 years of age, outfielder, would definitely help out our outfield tremendously. For Seth Lugo, who's not having a great start to the season, opens up a little bit of cap space for us to spend in free agency on a starter. I'm going to accept this deal. I think that really helps us out. Even though it, weakens our rotation a little bit, it helps our outfield tremendously. So we're going to make another trade the Orioles offered us. We're going to get Dylan Tate, who's having a really good season, for Jake Brentz, who's pitching the minor leagues anyways, pitching well, but not really having a potential future with this team. So we're going to upgrade our outfield again. We're going to trade for TJ Friedl from the Cincinnati Reds. Not much of a power guy, but he's got really good contact against lefties. He's having a solid year. We'd have him and Pete Crow Armstrong in our outfield, so it would make us have to worry less about the outfield. We're going to trade them MJ Melendez, who hasn't really worked out, Chris Bubic, who is in the minor leagues, don't really see a future with this team right now. Maybe he could help out the Cincinnati Reds. He's having a really good year in AAA. And then we're giving them Andrew Hoffman, who's a C potential 24-year-old pitching prospect. So we're giving them a pretty good package for TJ Friedl. Could we go out and get somebody better? Yeah, but I don't know if we have the prospect capital to get like a superstar right now. Free agency had to be what we look at in right field. So I think this is a fair trade for us. So we're at the All-Star break. We're sitting at 57 and 52, 12 games behind the Twins. We do have a shot in the wild card, though. We're only 4 games out. So maybe if we make a move that really helps out our team, we can make a run. So let's say everybody's been doing. Let's take a look at the pitching side. Cole Reagans, great year. 11-5 record, 3.36 earned run average. Really good year. Ignore my chair in the background. Really good year for Cole. He's pitching like the number 1 and number 2 we need. Brady Singer's been awesome. 12-4, 2.57 earned run average. Really been great so far. And you got Alec Marsh, who's had a good year as well, 3.38 earned run average. Kyle Wright, not been great. And then Michael Wacha, not been great as well, 3-10. So both these guys have an ERA over 5. Might move one of them to the pen. Might move Wacha to the pen and put Daniel Lynch, who's pitching very well, 3.52 ERA out of the bullpen. Carlos Hernandez has been solid, 3.63 ERA. Dylan Tate's been awesome since we got him from the O's, 2.2 run to earned run average. Domingo Da Silva, not great, 5.54 earned run average. Chris Stratton's been solid, about where his numbers usually are in his career. George Bassett has been great. Not sure what the overall dropping's about. He has 2 saves, 4 blown saves, but he has 2.93 ERA. Matt Barnes has been a great pickup as well, 3.34 earned run average. And then John Schreiber in that closer role, 29 saves, only blew 5 saves, 2.83 earned run average. So the bullpen looks like a bright spot. Really just the starters in the bottom of the rotation that's really been struggling. Garrett Hampson's gave us a solid campaign, 5 home runs, 48 RBIs, 265 average. TJ Friedl's given us a solid campaign as well, 10 home runs, 45 runs driven in, hitting good for average, on base is good, and slugging. So he's about having a career, not a career year, but a solid year like he did last year. Salvador Perez, not much power so far, but he's hitting .316, slugging .486. Really good to see him hitting for average. Bobby Witt Jr., 16 home runs, 75 runs driven in already. He's probably going to have a 100 RBI season, 299 average. Stolen 24 bases, slugging over 500, so great year for Bobby. C.J. Cron, not a great year, not really bad, but could expect a little bit more power from him. Pete Crow Armstrong, 6 home runs, 31 RBIs, 204 average. Hopefully he builds off that and just continues to get better, but really he's not having a great first half of this first full season. We did get a lot of offers for this guy, Mikel Garcia, which I don't blame him because he's young and really has good contact against lefties, but we really decided to keep him. Hopefully he gets those numbers up in the second half. Michael Massey's having a solid year. Not anything to write home about, but he's probably going to have a career year. Not that last year was anything crazy, but it's good to see him having a better year. Nelson Velasquez, not hitting for great average, but showing a little bit of pop, which we need in the outfield. 12 home runs. You look at the bench, Vinny not playing a lot, but hitting 266. Not numbers that jump off the screen, but he hasn't played a ton. Adam Frazier hitting 339 off the bench. He has been awesome in that bench utility role. Freddie Fermin in that backup catcher role has 5 home runs, 330 average. And then Drew Wader's not known for his bat, but has 6 home runs. So look at this team, and what can we upgrade? We look at the trade block. I've got Matt McLean a lot in franchise. Don't want to do that again. David Fry, we trade with the division. I don't really like doing that a lot of the time. Jazz, we've gotten him a lot in franchise. He's on the trade block. Tanner Scott, we do need a closer. Do we go after him? He's a free agent to be. Do we add him? I have gotten him a lot in franchise too. But do we add him? Trying to see who could really help out this team. Like a Sam Mole wouldn't be bad to add to our bullpen. Not really seeing anybody that we haven't had a lot that could change our team. I mean, I might try to, like, could we go out and get a Jazz and a Tanner Scott in a combined package? Yeah. I think it would take a lot. Let me see what it would take. I think that would fix 2 problems for us. So let's see. Who do they want? Brady Singer for both of them. I'm not saying that's a deal we would consider, but it is interesting. How about we trade them Blake Mitchell, 19 years old, B potential. See who else we got to work with here. David Cross, 23-year-old outfielder. And we give them Velez or Ben Kundra. I can't even pronounce that right now. I apologize. But since I can't pronounce it, I'm going to include him in the deal. So, I mean, we're giving up. Listen, I think this could be a move that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Jazz ain't due for free agency to the end of the franchise. He can play center field. I know I had him in a few other franchises, but if we get him, put him in maybe right, or move Pete Crow Armstrong to right, it really solves our outfield for the next few seasons. And we get Tanner Scott to put in that closer role. Not that Schriever's been bad, but we really could use another sure thing in the pen, which he gives us that. He's having a great year. He is a free agent after the year, so we have to try to re-sign him. But I think this fits a lot of problems for us and really could give us that boost to get us to the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and make this deal. So that's going to be the one trade I make. And, you know, it might backfire. I made some deals before that really backfired on us, but I think that deal is going to help us a lot. So I'm going to get these lineups and bullpen figured out. I'm going to send them to the end of the season, and we'll see how these trades have impacted where we are in the standings. So end of the first regular season, we end up missing the playoffs, finishing 82-80, finishing 3rd in the division, or tied for 3rd. We end up finishing 7 out of the wild card. Injuries definitely took a toll on us. We end up losing Michael Wacha 1 to 2 months. He fractured his hand. Even though he wasn't having a great year, he was still a big part of this rotation. We end up losing Bobby Witt Jr. to a fractured forearm. We all know how he's our best player, obviously. Missed him. And then Jazz, right after we made that trade, had a broken foot. So really just 3 key parts of our team, especially our lineup with Jazz and Bobby, were just out. And that really took a toll. Let's say I buy fans of the year. So Cole Reagans ended up finishing with 15 wins, 3.88 ERA. Really good year. Hoping to build off that. Brady Singer had an awesome season, 17-7 ERA under 3. Alec Marsh had a great year as well, 3.51 earned run average, 10-11 record. Kyle Wright gave us a solid 4-starter, production, 4.56 earned run average. And then Daniel Lynch gave us a good year as well when he slotted in for Michael Wacha. So, oh yeah, we did move Michael Wacha to the bullpen, that's right. So he wasn't a big part of our rotation, but he's still a key part in our bullpen. But our rotation was looking good. I think we're going to still try to add another piece to this rotation with the money we cleared up from trading Seth Lugo. Chris Stratton ended up giving us a solid year, 20 innings, 4.05 ERA. Dylan Tate was awesome, 2.11 ERA. Domingo Da Silva, I'll take that for a rookie, 4.30 ERA. Matt Barnes was great. Glad he's a part of this bullpen. We have him for another year after this. George Bassett was good in his first season as well, 3.46 earned run average. John Schreiber was awesome, 31 saves, We moved him out of the closer role for Tanner Scott. We'll have to see how he finished the year, but 3.05 earned run average. Will Smith, just not good in 2 innings. And then Tanner Scott saved 36 games, blew 6 of them, but still a 3.31 ERA, a little bit higher than last year, but still a great year. We're going to have to try to re-sign him. That's going to be a key part. And then we take a look at this lineup. Garrett Hanson, another guy we're going to have to try to re-sign. He's an important part of our bench. 7 home runs, 68 RBIs for him. I think that's a career high. Yes, it is. And then 273 average, so great year overall. TJ Friedel gave us a great year as well. 14 home runs, 62 RBIs, 281 average. Salvador Perez, 25 home runs, 76 RBIs, hit 315 for Savvy, and then slugged 496. How about CJ Cron? Gave us 23 home runs, 75 RBIs. Bounce back season for him in KC. Nelson Velasquez, another solid power year, 16 home runs. Freddie Fermin, looks like he's DHing, which is weird, but ended up finishing with 8 home runs, 21 RBIs. Michael Garcia didn't give us the year we expected. Better year than last year, but average is down, on base is down, slugging's a little down. Hopefully he has a better year next year. And then Pete Cole Armstrong didn't give us what we wanted. He's still only 22. That was his first full season, so hopefully next season he can give us a little bit better production than that. And then we look at Vinny. Had a great year, even though limited games. 3 home runs, 24 RBIs at 292. Adam Frazier ended up giving us a great season off the bench. 5 home runs, 22 RBIs at 326. Drew Waiters, okay production for a 4th outfielder. And then Michael Massey ended up giving us another solid year at second base. 15 home, pretty similar to last year. Numbers up a little bit as well, so that's good to see. And then let me see, Kyle Isbell, almost skipped over him, didn't do too much. So let me see who wins the World Series. The Dodgers defeat the Tigers. The Tigers end up making the World Series. Wow, that's not something you expect. So we look at this team. We need to get another starter. I think Michael Wacha would be better as like a long relief pitcher. If we get another starter to pair with Cole Reagans and Brady Singer, we work on the bullpen a little bit. Try to re-sign Tanner Scott. Catcher, we're good. First base, CJ Cron did a good job. Probably give him another season since we got him signed. Second base, we can use an upgrade, especially with Adam Frazier leaving. Third base, we're good. Shortstop, we're good. And the outfield, we're good. So really just a bullpen, a starter, and a second baseman is really our goal. Is try to bring Hanson and Scott back and go from there. So I'm going to get to work. Hopefully the second season is where we make the playoffs. The second season underway, and we signed a starter, Luis Severino. 1 year, $9 million. He ended up having a really good year last year with the Mets. He was healthy, 31 starts. He gave him a 3.29 earned run average. So I think he'll be a very good third starter for us behind Singer and Reagans. So hopefully that works out for us. We ended up signing Luke Weaver and Dylan Floro for our bullpen. Luke Weaver, 2.51 ERA last year with the Yankees. $4.5 million per year for 2 years. Didn't think that was too bad of a deal. And then Dylan Floro, 1 year, $4 million deal. 1.98 ERA last year. So I think those two guys are going to help us a lot in our bullpen. Tanner Scott ended up returning $6.1 million per year for 2 years. 3.31 ERA with us last year. Well, half the season with us. So hopefully he continues to put up production there. Offense pretty much the same. Didn't really find a second base on the free agent market. Ahmed Rosario was out there, but it's like, is he really that much better than Michael Massey? So Michael Massey again, another shot. Made the trade deadline. We looked to get somebody else. We re-signed Garrett Hampson. 1 year, $5 million deal. Hopefully he can give us some DH or off the bench, playing time. And the rest of the offense is pretty much the same. So I think the offense, as long as it's healthy, can really produce. We upgrade our pitching. I think we got a shot to make the playoffs. So let's see how it goes. I'll see you guys at the trade deadline. From our division rival Guardians, Tristan McKenzie, who's having a really solid campaign, only 27. If you guys saw my Guardians video, you guys saw how good he was for us with the Guardians. They're offering us him for Michael Wacha, free agent to be, having a really good year, but he's not even in our rotation right now. He's in our bullpen. This is too good of a trade to pass up. For the Rangers are offering us Nathaniel Lowe, who's 29, having a solid year, 15 home runs, 55 RBIs, 267 average, free agent after next season, so he gets first base after CJ Cron leaves, filled in. Vinny's not having a great year, 202 average, only 28 games, but just hasn't hit. And we look at CJ Cron, he hasn't hit either at first base, so it really solves our first base offensive woes. So I'm going to accept this trade. The second season, trade deadline. We're rolling right now, 67-41. Looks like a lot of the moves we made have been paying off. Really, the Guardians and White Sox, which the White Sox in third is surprising. The Tigers, who made the World Series last year, in last place. So just not going the way they hoped. Looks like our starting rotation has been a huge part of the why we've been so successful. I mean, you look at Cole Reagan's 3.03 ERA, Brady Singer 3.46. Kyle Wright's been awesome, 2.88. Luis Severino just got back from injury, but when he's pitched, he's been sensational, 2.27. And then Tristan McKenzie with a 4.15. So our whole rotation has an ERA under 5, so that's going to get the job done. And you got two starters who are long relief pitchers right now. Daniel Lynch, who has a 3.32 ERA. Alec Marsh, who we moved out of the rotation. He's been good out of the pen. And then Dylan Floro's been great. How about John Schriever, 1.03 ERA? Carlos Hernandez with a great ERA. Matt Barnes, not great so far. Luke Weaver's been awesome, 1.78. And then Tanner Scott with 36 saves already. So our pitching has been phenomenal. I don't think we really need to make much adjustments to our pitching. We take a look at our lineup. Hampson's been solid. Miguel Garcia's given us a better year, which has helped out a lot. Good to see that. Salvador Perez with another sensational year, 21 home runs already. Bobby Witt's healthy. He's been awesome. Jazz has not been great power-wise, but he's hitting 291. Nathaniel Lyle's given us solid production at first base. Michael Massey, who we were going to replace at second base, kept him there. He has 19 home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong hitting better. Good to see. And then TJ Friedel. So I see not a lot of holes on this team right now. I mean, there's really a lot of guys producing. We got Nick Prado, hasn't done much off the bench. Freddie Fermin, 392 average. He's been red hot. If we do look to move Salvador Perez to free up some money, that's definitely a move we could look to make. CJ Cron's not been great. And then Kyle Isbell's not been great either. So if we look at this team, is there really a lot we need to upgrade? Like, can we go out and get a Brent Rooker to DH? Definitely a possibility. But, like, I'm looking at this team, and everybody's really producing for the most part on this team. I mean, I see why we're in first. A lot of guys are just playing well. Pitching's been sensational. This might be a season where I just let it ride out and see if we get hot in the playoffs or continue to be hot in the playoffs, because this team looks great right now. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to the end of the season, and we'll see if we end up getting in and who we're facing. I'll see you guys then. The season in the books, we ended up winning the division by 9 games. Struggled a little bit in the second half, but still this division just didn't perform as we thought it would after last season. The only team to finish above 500 was the Guardians. They barely did, 82-80. 91-71 record for the Kansas City Royals. Let's see how everybody finished the season before we get this first playoff run of this franchise going. Garrett Hampson, average down, still gave us an okay year, about similar to last year. Miguel Garcia, 19 home runs for him, showing off a little bit more pop. He continues to get better. Great to see. Salvador Perez with an awesome season, 27 home runs, 81 RBIs, hit 295. Bobby Witt Jr. was awesome, 29 home runs, 102 ribbies. Jazz gave us a solid year. Not what I've hoped offensively from Jazz so far, but not really horrible numbers. Nathaniel Lowe with 24 home runs. Michael Massey with 28 home runs. A guy, like I said before, we thought we were going to get rid of, and the gamble ended up paying off, keeping him at second base. What a year he had. Pete Crow Armstrong, 11 home runs, 56 RBIs. Continues to put up better numbers. TJ Friedel gave us another solid year. Really identical numbers to last year. Numbers up, really, just the same RBIs and home runs. And then Nelson Velasquez didn't play. Freddie Fermin was awesome off the bench. CJ Crone didn't do much. And Kyle Isbell gave us an okay season. Cole Reagans gave us an awesome year again. 15-10, 3.44 earned run average. Brady Singer, 15-9, 3.49 ERA. Kyle Wright was awesome, 12-5, 3.16 ERA. Luis Severino was worth the money, 6-6, 3.09 ERA. Then Tristan McKenzie, ERA went up a little bit in the second half, but for a fifth starter, still a solid year. Daniel Lynch out of the pen was awesome, 16 wins. I think he was in the rotation a little bit, but still out of the pen, 16 wins is impressive. Alec Marsh was solid out of the pen, 11-9, 4.14 ERA. Dylan Floro was another sensational season, 1.86 ERA. John Schriever, 1.24 earned run average. Carlos Hernandez gave us a solid year. Dylan Tate was not good this year at all after a great year last year. Luke Weaver came back to KC and put up great numbers, 2.17 ERA. And then Tanner Scott with 45 saves, ERA a lot higher than we had hoped, but still a solid year. So we're facing the winner of the wild card. Let's see if we can beat the Yankees. This ought to be something. Oh boy, the New York Yankees. I'm going to give, let's see, Brady Singer. I'm going to give Brady the start against the Yankees. So here we go. Solo shot by Glaber gets the Yankees on the board early. Let's see if our offense can get us going. Salvador Perez ties the game with a solo shot. It's a little bit of trouble. 3-run bomb by Anthony Rizzo. Another solo shot by Anthony Volpe. And it's 5-1 Yankees as Garrett Cole's looking to shut us down. We get the run back. TJ Friedl drives in a run. So not what we had hoped out of Brady so far. Definitely not. There's a triple by Bobby Witt. Nathaniel Lowe with another triple drives them in. We end up making a 5-4 game. Michael Massey comes through. Double play. So 4 okay innings. There's a double by Aaron Judge. We're going to go to the pen. We're going to bring in Alec Marsh here. He gives up a solo to Jesus Sanchez. Or a single, I should say. So he ended up scoring a run back. Michael Massey having a big game. So 1-run game. Dennis Santana in the pitch. Walks the first batter. We end up tying the game thanks to Garcia. 2-run bomb by Bobby Witt. And we take an 8-6 lead. And how about Marsh out of the bullpen? Bases loaded, nobody out. Sac fly by Friedl. Scott Efros in the pitch. Gives up another run, and it's 10-6. We're going to bring in John Schreiber here. A little bit of a trouble here, and gets out of it. Bottom of the 8th, Ron Mauricio. Pretty sure I botched that, but he's in the pitch for the Yankees. So we're looking to close out this game. We're not going to use our closer. We're going to bring in Dylan Floro. Double, 2-run bomb by Bentley. So we got to go to our closer now. And he slams the door. So we take game 1 against the New York Yankees. We send game 2. We end up losing. So game 3 in New York, tied 1-1. Nestor Cortez Jr. at Yankee Stadium. Series tied 1-1. Let's see if we can get something going. 2 on, 2 out. We end up scoring through 2 runs thanks to Nathaniel Lau. Kyle Wright on the mound, who had a great year. Ends up getting out of the first inning jam. Let's see if we can get that momentum and carry it on. He's pitching good so far, not allowed to hit. There's a single by Volpe, doesn't lead to nothing. There's a single by Bobby Witt. Can't get anything going out of it, though. How about Kyle Wright? 4 strong innings so far. We got two on, 1 out. Run scores thanks to Garcia. There's a walk. They bring in Clark Smith out of the bullpen. Gives up 3 more runs thanks to Nathaniel Lowe. He won a World Series for a reason. It's 6-0 Kansas City as we are rolling in game 3. So solo shot by Aaron Judge gets him on the board. But other than that, he has been sensational in this game. Maybe 1 more inning out of Kyle Wright. He has been awesome in this game. Wow. So he gives up a single. Time to go to the pen. We're going to bring in Luke Weaver, former Yankee, to face his old team. Ends up shutting him down in the 8th. Clark Smith ends up getting taken out for Scott Efros. Let's see if we can get an extra run here. We don't. So we're not going to use our closer again. We're going to use Alec Marsh. Save the closer. Giving up a little bit of a runs here, or a little bit of hits. I said runs, giving a little bit of runs. He didn't give up no runs. 6-1 win in game 3. So we're going to play game 4 just to make sure we can try to close out this game. So let's see. Who do we put on the mound? We're going to put Luis Severino against his old team here. Let's see if he can give us one. We're facing Garrett Cole, the ace. We're going to save our ace for the next game. Garrett Cole ends up getting hurt, and they have to go to the pen. That is terrible for the Yankees. Let's see if we could take advantage of it, though. We do not. Luis Severino rolling right now. Clark Smith's been pitching a lot in this series. Let's see if we can get to him again. Solo shot by Jazz. He comes through and gets us on the board. Let's see if Severino can keep us as a 1-0 lead. 2-run bomb by Garcia. They bring in Dennis Santana. Solo shot by Cabrera. And it's 3-1 Yankees. But how about Luis Severino against his old team? He ends up giving a run as soon as I say that. We're going to bring in John Schreiber here. See if he can keep us in the game. He does. So it's 3-2. Victor Gonzalez in the pitch. Still a 1-run game. So bottom of the 7th, we got Cabrera, Trevino, and Rizzo. So we're going to bring in Dylan Floro. He ends up giving the game-tying home run to Cabrera. Gets a double play, but the game is now tied. Ron comes in the pitch. We don't score, so we're going to go to Daniel Lynch here. Single, stolen base, sack, bunt, and the Yankees take the lead. And they take a 2-run lead now. We're going to have to bring in Carlos Hernandez. So top of the ninth, Ian Hamilton in the face. Massey, Pete Crow Armstrong, and TJ Friedel. Strikeout, ground out, fly out, and we lose game 4. So we're going to a game 5 in Kansas City. So this home crowd is going to be rocking. So who do we go with? Cole Reagans or Brady Singer? Looks like Brady Singer's low on it, so we got to go with Cole Reagans here, our ace, which ain't a bad thing. So let's see if he can give us an ace, and not a good start. Gleyber Torres gets them a 1-0 lead, 2-0, 4-0 Yankees in the first inning. Luis Gil looking to shut us down. Not the ace-type first inning we had hoped. Hopefully our offense gets us some runs, and the Yankees are continuing to try to tack on here. There's a single, fielder's choice, walk, strikeout, fly out. Really, besides that first inning, though, he's been good, but our offense has not helped him out. There's an error and a walk, fly out, fielder's choice. Luis Gil still rolling, leadoff double by Massey. Can we get 1 run? Man, we are getting destroyed right now. We're not destroyed, but shut down. Alec Martian, the pitch out of the pen, 1-2-3 inning. Ground out, strikeout, single by Bobby Witt. Jazz can't get him home. Man, if Cole has a better first inning, we probably have a better chance. But we get some runs on the board. There's 1 run. Victor Gonzalez in the pitch to face TJ Friedel. He drives in 2, and it is a 1-run game. Walk. Scott Efros in the face Salvador Perez. He gets the fielder's choice. So Bobby Witt Jr., 2 on, 2 out, and he hits into a fielder's choice. So we're going to bring in Luke Weaver. Walk, pop up, fly out, pop up. So bottom of the 8th, they bring in Carlos Estevez. There's a leadoff triple by Jazz. Nathaniel Lau ties the game. Pop-up strikeout, hit by pitch. Garcia walks. Hampson walks, and it's up to Garcia against Ron, and he grounds out. So top of the 9th, we're going to bring in John Schreiber. Single, fly out, single, fielder's choice. And the Yankees take the lead, but the runner gets thrown out. So bottom of the 9th, our big bats coming up to hit. Salvador Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., and Jazz against Ian Hamilton. So Savvy flies out. Bobby Witt Jr. singles. Jazz hits into a double play, and we are eliminated. That is a tough way to lose the playoff series. Let's see who wins the World Series. The Dodgers defeat the Yankees. We were in it the whole series. Our pitching let us down in Game 5. We ended up coming back, but just couldn't get the job done. So we got one final season to try to get this team to a World Series. It was a step forward last season. Let's see what moves I can make to upgrade this team, and we'll get on with the third and final season, so I'll get to it. Third and final season of the franchise. We made the playoffs last year. We were as a first-round exit. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. We made some moves. Signed Zach Gallen. We need a legitimate ace to pair with Brady Singer. As good as Cole Reagans is, he's not a number 1. Could be seen as a number 2, but I feel like he slots in better as a number 3. You know, he had a great year last year. If he's our number 3, we're doing something right. So our rotation is set. We got Zach Gallen, Brady Singer, Cole Reagans, Kyle Wright, Tristan McKenzie. We also got Alec Marsh and Daniel Lynch, who are long relief pitchers, or, you know, could be spot starters or guys who fill in due to injury. So we signed Hunter Harvey to really be in our bullpen. Had a fantastic season last year. We had to pay him a little bit more than we wanted, but he helps our bullpen tremendously. Phil Bickford, we ended up picking up in the Rule 5. Picked him up, I think, in another franchise, and he did really well. Not sure if it was one I showed in a video or not, but he's been pretty good throughout franchise. I think our bullpen would be fine, especially with rotation we have. Catcher still the same. First base, we're still the same. Second base, we ended up signing Brandon Drury to be on our bench. Not a great year last year, but a guy who provides a little bit of pop and versatility. And then we also signed Jorge Mateo to a 1-year, $5 million deal. Not the best offensive numbers either, but these are just guys who are going to either be DHs or, you know, fill in if guys get hurt or need a day off. And then everything else is pretty much the same type of lineup. And, you know, our lineup was good. I think it'll get us done or get us to the playoffs. I say get us done. Get us to the playoffs. I think it will get us there. We'll just have to see how the pitching does for us. I think it'll be do very well for us. So let me get on with this third season. I'll see you guys at the trade deadline. Doing pretty bad right now, and we're still 8.5 out of first. Not that we can't make a second half run, but our lineup's really not hitting for a lot of power. So we're going to make another deal with the Marlins. I know we made a deal with them in the first season. Jake Berger, who has 13 home runs, a little bit of a down year himself, but I feel like maybe a change of scenery to help him out. We're going to trade Robert Cortez, 18-year-old catcher, and Michael Massey, who's coming off a really good year last year, just hasn't hit this year. I know we're giving up on him a little soon. We have to try to do something because we only got one season left to try to jolt this offense into hitting. So we're going to get Jake Berger. Deadline. As you guys can see, it is not looking good this season. Still time to turn it around. But this division, not very strong, but the Twins are in first over the Tigers 4 games, us 7.5, and the Guardians 8.5. Really, it could be a 4-team race. We just haven't played like I thought we would, especially after adding Zach Gallen. So TJ Friedl not having a bad year. I mean, he's not really been anything spectacular for us. He's been pretty much what you see, what you get with TJ Friedl. He's really just putting up solid numbers. Could be a little bit better, but not bad. Nathaniel Lowe, not much power so far, which is a concern. Same with Salvi. He's getting a little older, but still, like, expect a little bit better. Bobby Witt, not much power from him either. Only 10 home runs. 15 home runs for Jazz, which is a good thing. One of the few positives we've seen in this lineup. Jake Berger, more power than what we had before with Michael. And then Nelson Velasquez with 14 home runs, not terrible. Garcia's not hitting for power, not known as a power guy, but still some of these guys should be hitting for more homers than they are. Picor Armstrong not having a great year either. Jorge Mateo's not been good on the bench. Brandon Drury, 10 home runs, I'll take that. Freddie Fermin has not hit. And then Drew Waiters, I mean, we know he ain't really much of a hitter anyways. And then let's see if the pitching's been good. Zach Gallen, been good. 8-4, 3.41 ERA, pitching like a number 1 or 2. Brady Singer has been awful. 4-10, 5.20 ERA. That's definitely one of the big reasons why we were in the spot we're in. Cole Reagans has not been great either. 4.72 earned run average, 7-7 record. Kyle Wright's been reliable once again, 4-9 record. That's 3.79 ERA. And then Daniel Lynch continues to be Mr. Reliable, 10-3, 3.34 ERA. Alec Marsh, solid year, not great, but solid. Tristan McKenzie struggled really bad this season, 6.28 earned run average. Phil Bickford, for some reason, every time I pick him up in franchise, he just pitches well. 1.13 earned run average for Phil. Great to see. Carlos Hernandez is having a solid year. Domingo da Silva's not been good, even though he's only pitched 1 inning. John Schreiber's not been good. Hunter Harvey's been okay, but definitely not as good as he was last year's. And then Tanner Scott, not a bad ERA, but 10 saves, 4 blown saves, not great. I think Hunter Harvey was in the closer spot, but he wasn't pitching great either. So the pitching's not been good. I really thought the pitching was going to be our strong suit, but the offense hasn't hit either. Like, we've already made like 2 trades with the Marlins. I hate to go make another deal with the Marlins. Do we go out and get a Lars Nootbaar? He's having an okay year, but not really any better than Friedel's been. Really a lot of Marlins on the trade block. Really just not seeing a lot. Like Sam Hedges, I'll see what they want. Okay, I'll trade them Nick Eden. So we get Sam Hedges. Add him to our pen. Send down D Silva here. So we upgrade our bullpen. Like, do we have the prospect capital to go out and get an ace? Or not an ace. I already have an ace. What am I saying? But, like, we need a big bat. We already got Jake Berger. He's been okay, but he hasn't been spectacular. Do we upgrade our outfield? I mean, Jazz has been good, but Pete Armstrong hasn't hit. TJ Friedel's hitting, but not like... Actually, he's going to have a career year, TJ Friedel. Or, no, that's Jazz. Okay, I'm tripping right now. TJ Friedel, I mean, he's probably going to have a career year. He has 11 home runs. It's just not been what we expected. Like, what do we change on this team? I mean, the lineups, like second base, we have pretty much Berger playing second base. That's why it looks like second base is a problem. We really just put Berger at second base and DH. And Drury's not been bad. Like, the lineup's as good as we're going to get it, really. I mean, unless we go out and get another outfielder, but it's like pitching. We added Sam Hedges. Overall-wise, our rotation's been great. Do we try to get like a Kyle Brash? I just don't think we have the prospect capital to go get him unless we give up our whole pitching rotation. We're just going to have to see how this season ends. We upgrade the bullpen and see if we can make a second half run. The books, we end up getting the postseason. 84-78 got us in the playoffs. Not the greatest record, but hey, we'll take it. A playoff berth's a playoff berth this season. So let's see how everybody did. Let's take a look at the starting rotation. Zach Gallen gave us a number one starter type year, ace type year, 13-6, 2.99 ERA. Brady Singer ended up having a better second half, but still a down year overall. Cole Reagan's a down year for him as well. We need them two guys to pitch well in the playoffs. We're going to do anything. Kyle Wright, ERA a little high from last year, but still a solid year. And then Daniel Lynch gave us a solid year, even though ERA went up. So starting rotation got the job done in the second half. Alec Marsh had another solid year in our long relief role in the pen. Tristan McKenzie just couldn't get it going. Luke Weaver, another sensational year for him, 2.27 ERA. Carlos Hernandez with an awesome year as well. Sam Hedges pitched well out of the bullpen for us. John Schreiber. I just realized I never make interdivision trades and I traded for the Guardians relief pitcher. I look like a hypocrite. That's my bad. But John Schreiber, really bad year. Only pitched 3 innings. Hunter Harvey, just not what we expected. And then Tanner Scott had a great year out of the pen, 28 saves and a 2.36 ERA. Taking a look at the lineup, TJ Friedl with a solid year. Numbers down across the board, but still about where he's been the last 3 years as a Royal. Nathaniel Lowe ended up finishing good with the second half, 22 home runs. Salvador Perez ended up finishing with a solid year. Looked bad in the first half, but 20 home runs, 72 RBIs. Bobby Witt Jr., a little bit of a down year for Bobby, which is a little bit concerning, but still not a horrible year. Jazz gave us his best year as a Royal so far, 24 home runs, driven in 93, and hit 266. Jay Berger ended up having a good second half as well, 23 home runs. Nelson Velasquez ended up having a career year, 20 home runs, 71 RBIs. Garcia, just not a good year for Miguel Garcia, 7 home runs only. Pete Crow Armstrong just hasn't hit for us. Did win a Gold Glove. Mateo didn't hit much off the bench. Drury gave us a little bit of pop. Freddie Fermin had an awful year. And then Kyle Isbell didn't do too much. So we end up facing the Rays. Are we facing them in the wild card? Looks like we're facing them in the wild card. So this should be an interesting series. So let's see how it goes. Here we go. Game 1. So we're going to put Zach Gallen on the mound. We're home. Let's see if we can get a win. So Shane McClanahan gives up an early run thanks to low runner gets thrown out. So it's 1-0 Kansas City as Zach Gallen's looking to shut down the Tampa Bay Rays here at home. A little bit of trouble, doesn't come back to bite him. There's a double by Nathaniel Lowe, and Bobby Witt Jr. drives him in. Zach Gallen, a little bit of a trouble here, but gets out of it. There's a double. Let's see if Gallen can continue to roll here. Gives up 2 singles, a walk, bases loaded, but gets out of it again. So 2 on, 1 out, fly out, single, bases loaded, 2 outs for Berger. He drives in 2. They bring in Devin Smeltzer here. So Zach Gallen looking to continue to roll. There's a double by Lowe, but doesn't lead to nothing. So we have 12 hits. So it's time to take Gallen out. Looks like he's in a little bit of a trouble. We're going to bring in Luke Weaver. Gets out of it. 5-0. So we're going to go to our pen again for Hunter Harvey. Walk, double play, single, strikeout. 6-0. We're not going to use our closer. We're going to bring in Sam Hedges. Line out single, fielder's choice, walk, and a pop-up. So we take game 1 of this 3-game series. Let's go ahead and sim game 2. And we advance in the wild card series and take on the Angels. So this ought to be an interesting series. Who do the Angels have on their team? This is interesting. So we're going to put Cole Reagans on the mound. Game 1. They have Ketel Marte, Mike Trout, Brent Rooker, Danny Jansen. They got quite a group over there in Anaheim. So they got Jared Jones, who they got from the Pirates in this deal, in a deal. So there's a double. Runner gets thrown out. So we got out of a first inning without giving up a run. Cole Reagans gets another double play. We can't get no runs that inning. Might be a pitcher's duel the way it's looking so far. There's a walk, strikeout, ground out. There's a leadoff triple by Jake Berger. We got to get him home. We do, thanks to Pete Crow Armstrong. So 1-0 Kansas City. Cole Reagan still pitching a whale of a game here. Gives up the tying run as soon as I say that. Solo shot by Jake Berger, who's having a good game. So we're going to go to the pen. Carlos Hernandez in the pitch. He ends up giving up the tying run, but keeps it there. Jose Quinjada in the pitch. Shuts us down. So we're going to go to John Schreiber here. Single, fly out, fielder's choice. Kyle Finnegan in the pitch. 1, 2, 3 inning. We're going to go to Luke Weaver. A little bit of a jam. Gets out of it. So top of the 10th, we're in extra innings. Jake Berger with a leadoff double, a walk by Velasquez, pop up, Pete Crow flies out, and a fly out. So maybe another inning out of Luke Weaver we do. Carson Fulmer in the pitch, single, walk, strikeout, strikeout. We score thanks to Jake Berger driving in a run. So we're going to bring in Tanner Scott to close it out. Fly out, hit by pitch, fly out, walk. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. And we end up winning game 1 as Tanner Scott closes the door. We send him game 2, win that. So are we going to sweep? No. And we end up winning 3 out of 4. So we're facing the Orioles in the next round. This ought to be a series. Let's see if we can beat one of the best teams. We're going to put Brady Singer on the mound as we used Zach Gallen in the previous game. So let's see if we can get a first game win at home, or a game 1 win at home. Bases loaded, 1 out, and we don't get anybody home. Mason Rodriguez got a little bit of a jam, but got out of it. Brady Singer gives up a solo shot to Austin Hayes. That's all they've gotten so far. So Grayson Rodriguez back-to-back singles, ground out, strikeout, and a strikeout. That is tough. 2 singles in a row for the O's. They can't get nobody home either. So besides that solo shot by Austin Hayes, neither often. And there's a 2-run bomb by Bobby Witt Jr. as we take the lead. Solo shot by Jake Berger, who's having a hell of a playoff series, or playoff run so far. Cole Irving out of the pen. Maybe one more inning out of Brady. Can he get out of it? He does. So 7 strong innings out of Brady Singer in this game. 2-run bomb by Jake Berger. What a game 1 he's having. One more inning maybe out of Brady? We do. So 8 strong innings. We drive in another run thanks to Lowe. Can we get a complete game? I don't want to test it. So we're going to bring in Tristan McKenzie, fly out, single, and a strikeout. Good job by Tristan McKenzie. So we take game 1, 7-1. We lose game 2, 3-4. So we're going to Baltimore now, Hitters Ballpark. We're going to give Kyle Wright the nod here in game 3. Keep Zach Gallen just in case we lose heading into game 4. So Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the O's as he has a good first inning. Let's see if we can get to him. There's a double by Garcia. Can't get him home. Single, walk, line out, fly out, walk, fly out. We can't get nobody home again. Kyle Wright pitching a whale of a game so far. And we score a run thanks to Brandon Drury. 2 runs scored thanks to TJ Friedel. Another run scores thanks to Bobby Witt. So we take a 4-0 lead. So we've taken Luzardo out of the game. 2-run bomb by Kobe Mayo. And the O's are back in business. 2-run bomb by Harrison Bader, and they tie the game. And might have left him in a little bit too long. Cole Irving in the pitch for the O's. We get the lead right back thanks to Jazz. Jake Berger drives in a run. Solo shot by Adley. So we're going to go to the pen again. We're going to bring in Sam Hedges, single, fielder's choice, and ground out. They bring in Jacob West. Single by Freddie Fermin. So Sam Hedges, we're going to take him out. Gave him 1 extra batter. Austin Hayes, we're going to bring in John Schreiber here. Gets out of it. So top of the 8th, Jack Leiter in the pitch out of the pen. Leadoff double, 2-run bomb by Bobby Witt. What a game he is having here. So we're going to go to Hunter Harvey in the setup roll spot. 1, 2, 3, no, but he does get out of the inning. So Ciano Perez in the pitch. Gets a double play. So Tanner Scott in to close out the game. And he does it easily as we take game 3. Sim game 4, we lose that 1-0. So we're in game 5 in Baltimore. Looking to go back home with a 3-2 series lead. We're going to put our ace on the mound, Zach Gallen here. So here we go. Grayson Rodriguez, who had a good game last time against us, gets out of the first inning. Zach Gallen strikes out the side. We got something going. We score 2 runs thanks to Pete Crow Armstrong. The Orioles looking to get back on their offense, and 2-run bomb by Kobe Mayo. Him and Jay Berger have both been sensational. 3-run bomb by Jazz gets us back the lead. It is 5-2 Kansas City. Let's see if we can get Grayson Rodriguez out the game. Zach Gallen's been good besides that 2-run bomb. Leadoff triple by Bobby Witt. We get him home thanks to Jay Berger, who continues to rake. Solo shot by Austin Hayes. So we're going to go to the pin. Hate to take our ace out, but Tristan McKenzie in the pitch. Solo shot by Harrison Bader. Tristan McKenzie's not having a good game either. We're going to bring in Luke Weaver. 3-run go-ahead bomb by Colton Cowser, and it is 7-6. Luke Weaver gives up another home run to Austin Hayes. Thought he could give us maybe another inning. So we go to the pin again. Alec Marsh, 6-9. Solo shot by Bobby Witt, who's having a whale of a series. So 7-9. Gets a double play. Jacob Webb in the pitch. Perez comes in the pitch to face Garcia. Strikeout. Pete Crow Armstrong ground out. And TJ Friedel walks. Nathaniel Lowe single. Salvador Perez strikes out. And Alec Marsh has done a hell of a job. But it's time to go to the pin again. We're going to bring in Hunter Harvey. Gets a ground out. So top of the 9, down 9-7. They bring in Yemi Garcia to face Bobby Witt Jr., Jazz, and Jake Berger. So ground out, walk, fielder's choice, walk. Do we pinch hit here? I think we're going to trust Garcia. And he flies out. So we lose this game. That was an offensive juggernaut type of game. So we are in a do-or-die game at home. Game 6, down 3-2. We're going to send Brady Singer, who pitched a good game earlier in the postseason, on the mound at home. Here we go. The Orioles looking to strike. They don't. Kyle Bradish on the mound, their ace. And the Orioles are in business, 2-0, thanks to Kobe Mayo. Triple by Lowe. So Bradish looking to shut us down. And he has done that so far. Garcia hits a solo shot, so we're still in this game. Brady Singer not looking great so far, but he gets out of the 4th inning. Let's see if we can get some offense here. Maybe one more inning out of Brady. We do. So Kyle Bradish still rolling. There's a single and a ground out. There's a walk. So we're going to go to the pin. Going to bring in Tristan McKenzie. Can he get out of it? He does. So bottom of the 6th. Ground out, line out, walk, single. Bobby Witt strikes out. Good inning by Tristan McKenzie. Bradish still in the game. He is rolling right now, and so is Tristan McKenzie. So bottom of the 8th, they bring in Perez to face Garcia, ground out. Pete Crow Armstrong, ground out. And TJ Friedel, ground out. So we're going to bring in Tanner Scott to keep this a 2-run game. He does. So our postseason on the line, we have Nathaniel Lowe, Salvador Perez, and Bobby Witt Jr. against Yimi Garcia. Walk by Nathaniel Lowe. I think we're going to pinch run for him. Jorge Mateo in the pinch run. Strikeout. Bobby Witt Jr. singles. Jazz, fielder's choice. Jake Berger. And cannot get the job done. So we are eliminated. Let's see if the Orioles win their World Series. They do. They defeat the Cubs. That sounds like a fun World Series. So Royals fans, I apologize. I was so close to a World Series, or at least getting to the World Series. Couldn't get the job done. I hope you guys enjoyed this franchise. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out our wrestling channel in the description below if you guys like wrestling. We talk wrestling every week. Make sure to check that out. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Peace.